In my previous how-to video, I had demonstrated how to create an overlay using the QR AutoSync method. And at the time, that was the easiest way to sync your telemetry data using the Hangtime app. But I've since created an even easier method, and I wanted to demonstrate that new method here in this video. So just like the previous methods, you'd go in and open your activity and select the overlay option from the top, and then import the video that you want to use. So the previous QR AutoSync method was pretty easy to use and pretty fast. The biggest potential problem is that you might forget to record the QR code at the start of your ride. And so if you haven't seen that video, or if you've never tried this in real life, I'll leave a link in the description. But basically, for the old QR sync method to work, the rider would have to remember to point their camera at their phone screen at the start of the ride and capture the QR code for at least a couple of seconds. And if you forget to do that, then you can't use the QR AutoSync method when you're creating the overlay video after the fact. So that old method still exists here. There might be some occasions where you'd want to use it. I'll tell you why here in a second. And then you still have the old video sync method where you'd use the buttons and the sliders to sync the telemetry data. But the new method is under this audio option. And so here you've got a graph of the audio and the acceleration. You don't really need to use these unless you want to do some manual tweaking, but the AutoSync method you would initiate by clicking the button right here. And so what this method is going to do is it's going to go through and sync through the audio, looking for jump signatures in the audio, and then align those jumps with the jumps found in the acceleration data. So obviously this is only going to work if you actually have jumps on the trail and the video that you've recorded. If you don't have any jumps that you've recorded, then this method won't work. So to start the sync, you would click continue, and you see in just a couple of milliseconds the sync is completed, and you would get a message like this showing the confidence level. And the confidence is essentially saying that it's confident that the telemetry it's set down here, the offset, is of high confidence, that it's almost guaranteed to be accurate. There's three different options here. You would see either a high confidence, a medium confidence, or a low confidence. Almost all the rides that I've tested have shown high confidence. There's a couple rides that I've done where I'm next to a really loud stream, and I've seen the confidence drop down to medium. And then the only time I've actually seen the low confidence is when I've imported a completely different video. Maybe that was recorded days apart from the activity, so it has nothing to do with the activity, and I'll actually see a low confidence in those scenarios. So I click OK here, and again, at this point, the telemetry is aligned. I haven't had to manually adjust anything or tweak anything. Basically click one button, and then when I go back to my video and I start the playback, you should see here that, let me get to the first jump where we drop in. You'll see if you watch up here where the jump animation appears, you should see at this first drop, as it's already perfectly aligned. So my turns are perfectly aligned, and here comes my second jump right here, and you can see everything's perfectly aligned with the telemetry data in the video. And I really didn't have to do anything. I just clicked one button and said OK, and everything's perfectly aligned. So I really like this sync method. It's more accurate than the QR sync. Usually after syncing on the QR, it was really close, usually within a quarter of a second, but you might still have to tweak it a little bit. But with this method, there's essentially no tweaking required. It's always perfect, and you don't have to remember to do anything on your ride. There's a couple new options here under the render settings and the audio tab. One option here is you can select a music track to add to the video that you're creating. I've got a couple of files here that you can select from. You can preview the audio. You've also got the option to select the volume of the music track. I found that much lower settings sound a lot better. They don't drown out the trail noise or anything else. Then you've also got this option to reduce the wind noise. And if you've ever recorded with a GoPro in a windy environment, it's really good at picking up wind noise, and it can really drown out a lot of the other audio on the file. And so this wind reduction option is really good at reducing that wind noise. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments.